What up, YouTube, and welcome to Space. This is our daily space weather, the primary feature here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. And let's take a look at the closest star. This is ionized iron and the colorized magnetogram in a composite. We've got new sunspots in the east and like 4 or 5 named groups in the west. We'll get to more in-depth details on that, coronal holes, and lots more. We are expecting a coronal mass ejection strike midday tomorrow on May 5th. The radio flux still at only 101 solar flux units. We've got a very slow solar wind speed. And let's take a look at Earth's magnetic moment from space. So here's the last 4 hours of magnetohydrodynamic pressure. We are still seeing the majority of the pressure there in the magnetotail side, the non-sun facing side of the planet. So back here around the magnetotail region, we are seeing things reach static equilibrium here as there's been very low solar wind inputs of plasma. Again, that's the last 4 hours magnetohydrodynamic pressure, Earth's magnetic moment from space. Next, we'll look at Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. This is the last 4 hours of ground magnetic perturbations shown in nanotesla magnetic flux density. So things quite geomagnetically calm. Again, we've got a very slow solar wind speed. I believe there is some plasma on the way, though, to arrive just about 24 hours from when we recorded this video. Today on Saturday, May 4th. KP index at 2 here. It was at 1 for most of the past 24 hours. That's a measurement of global geomagnetism. And here's your real-time solar wind. Again, a very slow solar wind speed here, below 300 kilometers per second, shown at 297. Solar wind density only 6.23 protons per cubic centimeter. Here is your GOES magnetometers. And they are pretty smooth here. Again, if we do see a coronal mass ejection strike, we can expect to see some spiky readings in this. Some spiky readings. Like this. Oops. Anyway, like that. Those are what spiky readings look like. Next, looking at the heliospheric current sheet, there is a North Pole current sheet headed this way. It's just arriving at stereo A now. There's the green North Pole current sheet. There's the red South Pole current sheet. Earth has been in the South Pole current sheet for an extended period of time. And we may remain there for an extended period as well, because there is some activity both in the north and south coming from the east side. There's the line of sight view. Let's move to coronal holes next, as we do. So there's the sun's B field shown in blue. And we can see some trans-equatorial coronal holes rotating in here of North Pole orientation, showing up there green. And the Earth-facing coronal holes are still South Pole, so that's a South Pole coronal hole right there. I would also note that the North Polar coronal hole is still quite polar-oriented, and so solar cycle 25 is still not anywhere near maximum. We're still a couple years from that. Let's take a look at sunspots next. We've got 4 named groups in the west and 2 groups about to be named in the east. So these groups are both sunspots, this northern one and this southern one. They'll get names today. Those will be known as 3028 and 3029. And how about a visual analysis of that in 1700 angstroms? Again, likelihood of flares, I'm going to say likelihood of flares goes up as all of these groups approach the limb. Sunspots are more likely to produce large flares at the limb than in the center of the solar disk. It's just a statistical fact. And let's continue on. Thanks to our Twitch followers, by the way. We stream daily on Twitch. Thanks to our Smash Team members. If you want to see all our videos in one convenient location, you don't even have to sign in. Head to smashamash.com/smashteam and click posts. You'll find all our daily video content there. We wanted to define Google for you. So if you're using Google as a verb, by all means, use Google as a verb if you like. Just realize that it means It means to use the Google search engine to obtain biased information about someone or something on the World Wide Web. Now, Google gained its place as the leader in search by having a simple search algorithm. It doesn't have that anymore, and so that is why we define it thusly. I don't use a verb. I don't use Google as a verb or a search engine. I haven't used it as a search engine since about 2012. A way to support the channel besides picking up merch would be to view our music content. If you search Golden Cat Productions on YouTube, you'll find this topic. There should be 6 tracks there. And we have featured some of those in the daily space weather videos. So check those out. If you find Golden Cat Productions music there, it's probably our record label. Thanks to everybody who's listened. And you can also download them from Amazon. Amazon Music has Golden Cat Productions. We're on Spotify. We're all over the internet. Thanks to Smash staff. Give her a raise by becoming a member of the Smash team, picking up music, merch, etc. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Visit our homepage. There's the link to the merch. Smashomash.com. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. We haven't forgotten about our paper explaining the mechanism underlying the solar cycles. We may have to shut down the operation entirely for a couple days. Coming soon. If you see us go away, don't worry. We're retooling. So again, I think that likelihood of flares is going up as those sunspots in the west reach the limb. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it. Let's look at a good wavelength to view solar flares, since we don't see any proton spikes either. Here's 94 angstroms. Another house favorite. Again, there are new sunspots on the eastern limb, so we're going to have 6 named sunspot groups. Let's look at a star chart, since we like everybody to be oriented. This is where things are above my head in Lehigh Valley. The blue line there is the galactic plane. The orange line is the ecliptic, the path the sun will take across the sky. If you're up before dawn, you may see Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury all rising ahead of the closest star. Here's a solar system forecast. This is where things are now. We've got a crescent waxing. And there's where things will be in a week. We'll have a gibbous waxing on the June 11th. Next, some coronagraph imagery. We've got the Stereo A coronagraph and the Soho Lasco C3 for you here. Again, there is a coronal mass ejection headed Earth's way. We're expecting it to arrive just about 24 hours from when we recorded this video, around midday Universal Time tomorrow, Sunday, June 5th. Yes. So it looks like there is one has also recently occurred here, just today. It looks like it will miss Earth to the north and west. That's my best guess at the moment. We'll close out today's YouTube exclusive daily space weather video with the 335 angstroms full disk imagery. You can see that filament actually erupting from right up here. This wavelength, you'll see a brightening right there. There's that wave, and that's some solar plasma headed out into the greater solar system. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, YouTube viewers. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Make sure you press like, subscribe, share, etc. And we'll see you soon at the Smash News Network. Least busted name in news. May that solar wind be at your back.